RC Fun Time. Here's your host, Sean Janum.
Hey everybody, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. I am down at Island Speedway down in Muscatine, Iowa for the INS 14 in what is it in
J Concept.
Yes.
Yep.
I have it there. What does the 14 stand for? Do you know?
So, if I'm correct, there's 14 of these series. Like last year was INS 13. Before that, on INS 12, and so on and so forth. So
Fantastic.
Yep.
Can you introduce yourself for us so that everybody knows?
Yeah, sure. My name's Tyler Pattenaude. A lot of people call me Ty Pattenaude. I'm a driver for X-Ray Racing, and a lot of other sponsors are OneWorks, J Concepts, Primeline Designs. I also own a little business called Ty Tech. So it's a small business made of greases and other assortments of small things. But yeah.
On Facebook?
Yeah, on Facebook for sure.
Okay, well, Ty Tech on Facebook. Also a webpage?
No webpage yet. Just through the Facebook for now. Yep.
Fantastic. How long have you been racing?
So I believe this is like my, let's say, 12th year? 12th year, something like that.
How old are you?
I am 20.
So
I've been racing since I was like 8
years old.
8, 9.
Fantastic. Do you remember way back then to what your first car was?
Yeah, I believe my first car was a Traxxas Slash. Me and my cousins, we got them for our birthdays, and we went out in the backyard of my grandma's house, and we were driving around. My grandma used to have like this little dirt track for dirt bikes and stuff, and we would drive our Traxxas Slashes around, just have a good time with each other. So
fantastic. What got you into racing?
My dad, he back in the day, he used to be super fast, and he had gotten hurt on motocross too many times. So
well, that's funny because I've heard that quite a bit. Motocross leads into RC more than you would think.
Yeah, I'm told that it's very similar, the feeling racing each one. In motocross racing and RC racing, you get kind of the same adrenaline pump. But yeah, my dad used to be super fast back in the day, and then I was born, and once I got old enough, I started to get into it and interested in the hobby, and just have been growing and growing from there.
Fantastic. What do you consider your home track?
So right now, I don't really have a home track.
Okay.
All the tracks close to me have really either closed up or moved locations. My closest dirt track is Trackside, Hobbies Raceway in Wisconsin. It's about 3.5 from me. And the closest carpet track, good carpet track, I would say, is probably here. It's about 2 hours.
Okay.
I wish I came here more often though, but yeah, I'd say those two are probably my closest tracks.
Talking about here, what do you think of the facility so far?
Yeah, this facility is awesome. I mean, I've been here about probably five, 6 times, and every single time here, they impress me. The people here are super awesome, super nice people. The track is always top notch. I mean, there's never a time where you come here disappointed. That's for sure.
Fantastic. Today's track, or this weekend's track, I've seen you've been out a couple of times. How does the track feel to you? What do you find the most difficult about it? And what do you feel like you need to work on to get better for this weekend?
Yeah, there's this track this weekend is pretty technical. A lot of slow speed corners, which is usually not known for this track. Usually this track is very high speed sections with lots of straights. But yeah, this weekend there's a lot of corners this weekend, which is cool. It's cool to see them mix it up. There's definitely some difficult parts of the track. Like before the wall ride, there's kind of a little settling point. You have to wait for your car to settle, and then you have to go up the wall ride. So that's a little tricky for me in the 4-wheel drive. My 2-wheel drive's really good there though. But I mean, the track itself isn't too difficult. It's not. It's pretty easy. It's a pretty mellowed track. But for a couple of sections that I think I could do better in, I'm adjusting the car right now. There's the S section right before the sweeper, before the wall ride. That S section, my four drive is just not wanting to take it very well, so making some changes to the car. And so far, it's getting a lot better. So that's probably the only section I'm really iffy on right now. But other than that, the track's great.
So you brought up the S section.
Yeah.
From the sides, I haven't seen the angle like what you drive from the driver's stand. Is that actually a fairly big S, or is it just enough to make it that technical?
Yeah, so it's not a big S, that's for sure. It's definitely a pretty mellow S, but sometimes you can sort of straight line it. You still have to have a little bit of wheel movement. I know a lot of people are just full throttle into the first kind of corner, and then they'll turn their car and full throttle in the next one. Some people are going just full throttle and weaving through it. It just really depends on the line you get off. After you get after the single right here, the line that you have off that kind of determines what kind of line you get through that section. So.
Gotcha. Unfortunately, I can't see all the way up there, but that helps me out quite a bit by turning around and looking at that. That's pretty neat. That's the first time I've seen that there. They haven't had that there in the past. Becoming pro, how did that happen for you? Were you approached, or did you go out and approach them?
So it definitely didn't happen immediately.
Right.
It happens through lots of work and communication. I had originally had someone reach out to me when I was real little for my first sponsorship, where I was nowhere close to the level of sponsorship I am now. But some guy saw a sparkle or something and decided, hey, let's try on this little kid. And from there, I stayed with Serpent. It was Serpent who approached me. I had stayed there for quite a bit of years. Then I had, worked my way up to different companies, driving for TLR for that short period of time, where I learned a lot. And the accomplishments that I had gotten with TLR, the podiums, the wins, all of that, all helped me with getting rising up in the food chain, as you would say. And getting a deal with X-Ray once again, because I had one previously before TLR, but after I went from X-Ray to TLR, I had come back, of course. I've come back to X-Ray, and they've been treating me very well. I'm very, very, very happy with the X-Ray team and everyone that's been a part of it. Drew Ellis, Paul Ciccarello, apologies. All those people that have helped me get to where I am.
Fantastic. Growing up, kind of talked about that a couple of times a little bit. Did you have a driver that you followed or wanted to emulate or anything like that?
For sure. I mean, I've had lots of drivers like that when growing up. I'd watch on Live RC and YouTube and all that. Drivers like Ryan Mayfield and, Dakota Fent. I grew up watching those guys and seeing how wicked fast and they just perform every single weekend, in and out, consistently. It's not just a one-time thing. Really motivated me. Hey, I want to one day race with these guys, And so, luckily, I've had the opportunity to next year go into mod and race with these big guys. But I definitely have had my fair share of people I've looked up to in the RC community, for sure.
Excellent. Looking back, even your pro and your amateur career, what would you say your most memorable moment in the hobby is?
Yeah, so I'd probably say the Roar Nationals, not this year, but last year. I was able to get a third place at the Roar Nationals, and I had the pace to win it, just making a couple of mistakes that I should have cleaned up thinking back. But yeah, it's definitely a big accomplishment to even get an A main at the Roar Nationals, let alone podium at it. So I'm super stoked about that.
That's awesome. When you get, before you get there, on race day, some people have a ritual that they do or something that they have to have. They wear the same socks, the same shoes. Say, hey, Matt, do you have something that you've brought along the entire way, or do you have something that you've started?
I wouldn't say I have something like, wearing the same lucky socks or something like that, but yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say my ritual is more of just checking over the car 3-4 times and just making sure everything's dialed, from the shocks to the internal components of the car. Checking and going through the car thoroughly is my ritual.
That's a good ritual. I mean, everybody should have that.
Yeah.
If you had to give one tip to a young kid coming into the hobby, what would it be?
Yeah, for sure. So I would say just get laps. Just drive the car. The car doesn't need to be perfect. Doesn't need to be set up perfect for you. What's important is getting experience, racing close, racing clean, and just putting in the work ethic, going to the track every weekend, once, twice a week even. Just getting laps is my tip. That's the most important part of RC. The more you practice, the better you'll get, and that's for every sport, every racing. The more practice you get, the harder you work, the faster you'll get, and the better positions you'll gain in races.
Okay. Talking about work ethic and race ethic, how much time do you spend per week, roughly, doing RC? How much time do you put in for it?
Oh man, so it really depends on the event. Usually, I'd like to drive at least once or twice a week, and definitely on the weekends. Every weekend, but at least once or twice a week would be optimal. I know some guys like Dakota, they don't practice at all, or race at all, which is what I have been heard.
Right.
But it's crazy that people like that can just show up and knock the wheels off everyone. But yeah, for sure, for me, practice is key. Of obtaining my speed, of keeping the speed that I have. So yeah, once or twice a week plus the weekends.
Once you get home, you take off after this weekend. You go through all your cars and then you just set them down, or is there something that you're always trying to do, or do they come apart, stay apart for a day or two, and then right before you're ready to go, you start putting them back together? What kind of?
So that's a good question. So usually I will get home. I'll put the cars, because I work out of my race trailer for 8-scale. I have an 8-scale race trailer, but I'll take the cars apart. I'll clean all the CVDs, freshen up the bearings, go through the diffs, the shocks, pretty much the daily maintenance that you want to do, and then sometimes I'll just brainstorm ideas in the car. What changes do I think could have been better? And helping with that would be writing your setups down on a setup sheet. So you write your setups down on a setup sheet. You look through the setup sheet and say, hey, my car was doing this. Maybe I should have changed this, or this. And I think that really helps motivate me make changes to the car before I go to the racetrack.
Okay.
Like this weekend, I brought multiple changes to both cars, in which the 2-wheel drive I thought was way better with those changes. So stuff like that really helps improve your race program. Just brainstorming ideas. What do I want to change? What do I want to do with this? I wouldn't say I ever leave my cars in shambles on the pit, but for sure I'll be wrenching. I'll have them fully apart, chassis stripped, checking if the chassis is bent, stuff like that. 9 times out of 10 that will happen once I get home.
Fantastic. I'm not going to keep you any longer. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
One last chance before you take off to thank all those that you need to thank.
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to thank my parents for being able to make this happen. My mom supporting me, my dad supporting me, and he even glued all my tires this weekend. So something I didn't have to do.
Anything helps.
Yep. I'd like to thank Paul Ciccarello for the chance of being an X-ray driver, and Andrew Else for giving me the shot. As also my sponsors, X-Ray, RC America, FX Engines, Hoodie, R1 Works, J Concepts, Primeline Designs, Tech, RC Life, and I'm probably forgetting some. My brain's all in shambles.
Exactly. I know how that goes.
All my sponsors, thank you so much for supporting me. I really appreciate it. I couldn't do it without you.
Fantastic. Again, I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to do my thank yous to the people who helped bring the show. First off, Papa Willie's. Thank you. If you ain't popping Willie's, you ain't using Papa Willie's. MKS servos. Smooth as butter, fast. Can't beat them. I mean, they were made for helicopters. My goodness. It's got to be fast. DRC, Donathan Racing RC. You need charging leads, anything to do with charging, titanium, nuts, bolts, anything. Check them out. Great group. And Rotor On. Thank you for everything you do for me as well. As always,